Hello, welcome to the first December installment of Just TV Presents World of Sports. I'm your host Rudi, and we have our special guest host here today, Josh Vance. Josh, thanks for coming. How you doing today?
Good, thanks for having me.
Oh, no worries. Thank you very much for coming. It's always good to have someone else here that we can keep up a conversation on the world of sports. We are having a special guest in, Eric Pierce, who is a guard with the Lethbridge Pronghorns men's basketball team. He should be showing up anytime here. We'll give a little interview to him. But let's start with the CFL, because as we know, we had the Grey Cup last week, and we were talking about that on the show. And I just want to say I completely called it, that I said the Stamps are going to win, and they did. So good job, Stamps. Bo Levi Mitchell, the MVP of the 106th Grey Cup. The Stamps took that one 27-16. Trevor Harris had 288 passing yards. Bo Levi had 253. So a pretty good game through the air for both quarterbacks. But my Calgary Stampeders pulled it out. So good on them. Josh, what CFL team do you go for?
Well, my dad was always an Alouettes fan, so that's kind of who I've been watching. I haven't really watched for the past few years, though. We caught some of the Grey Cup, though, and it's good to see that Calgary finally finished it off. I guess third time's the charm.
Yeah, right. They lost one in 2014, but yeah, they've been the last few years and lost, and they finally got this one again. So good on you, Calgary. And they did it in their rival Edmonton's Commonwealth Stadium too. So that's got to be a little extra, little extra hurting for Edmonton there.
Yeah, a little salt in the wound.
So I guess we'll see any off-season news we'll have for you next week. Nothing's happening yet, of course, for CFL. So we'll keep you posted if any trades or signings go down for CFL. Let's go into NFL. Not very much news during the week other than Kareem Hunt, the running back of the Kansas City Chiefs, was released yesterday by the Chiefs. Video surfaced of him assaulting a lady there in his residence, and he was not upfront about it with his team, so they kind of just released him. And wasn't he like leading the NFL in rushing yards at that point? So
yeah, pretty bad mistake on his part. There's definitely no place for that.
Absolutely, yeah. So Deb says, yeah, Oilers. I had to put the Oilers jersey on today. I usually do the Hurricanes, but we had a good game. We grinded it out yesterday. 3 wins in a row. Let's get this streak going. Oilers been playing so great with Ken Hitchcock. We'll talk about that later, but thank you, Deb, for noticing. Oilers all the way. We had Thursday night football in the NFL. The Cowboys actually put a stop to the Saints' 10-game win streak. These guys were just a powerhouse in the NFL. Dak Prescott throwing 248 yards, and they squeezed out 13-10. It was the final, so pretty low-scoring game. Zeke Elliott had 76 rushing yards. So, yeah, like I said, pretty tight scoring game. But, yeah, 10-game win streak snapped by the Dallas Cowboys. Of course, it's Sunday right now, so there's a whole bunch of games happening in the NFL. We'll deal with those at the very end of the show that we can give you the most up-to-date scores and stats and all that. I'm just going to go here and share that we're live right now. Hopefully we can get some more audience feedback here. This is an open show, so if anyone wants to discuss anything at all, feel free to comment on the post here, and me and Josh will have a conversation, and hopefully you guys will join in as well. So
yeah, the more participation, the better, for sure.
Absolutely. And if you want to just comment and say how ugly his jersey is, that's fine too. You know, we don't.
It's all right. I'll tell you you're wrong, but you're allowed to state that.
Turn around. Show everyone what we're wearing here today.
Got the beret.
There we go.
Classic. Can't go wrong with the number 10.
I mean, I like that one more than the Sharks jersey we had on here last week. So
wasn't it a Panthers jersey though?
Oh, it was a Panthers jersey. That's right.
Because of the green.
Yeah, that's right. Ryan can't wear green. His teal Sharks jersey. So,
yeah, I had to pull out the old school one.
Yeah, I did not want to take this jersey off the wall, but to be honest, that Lethbridge Hurricanes jersey did need a wash. Let's get into some MLB news quick. Mariners and Mets made a big trade. Second baseman Robinson Cano and star closer Edwin Diaz plus $20 million to the Mets for outfielder Jay Bruce, right-handed pitcher Anthony Swarzak, and a whole package of prospects. So looks like the Mariners are starting another rebuild there. Maybe eventually they'll make it back to the MLB playoffs, but unloading a lot of money in Robinson Cano and the $20 million to the Jets. So that happened yesterday or the day before. Other news, the Blue Jays have interest in Dallas Keuchel. I said this on the first episode, I believe, that they should definitely be targeting this guy. He's an all-star. He has a World Series under his belt. Dallas Keuchel, if he signs in Toronto with the Blue Jays, that would be absolutely fantastic. I hope to see that. Ex-Blue Jay news, Josh Donaldson signed a one-year deal with the Braves. That's actually reuniting with Alex Anthopoulos, the old Blue Jays general manager there. So we'll see how Josh Donaldson plays with the Atlanta Braves there. Indians traded Yan Gomez to Washington for right-handed pitcher Jeff Rodriguez, outfielder Daniel Johnson, and a player to be named. And that's pretty much all the news we have for MLB. It was a pretty slow week in off-season there. Of course, nothing ever really happens with off-season, so we'll keep you updated. Anything else happens, but pretty much until February there, or whenever spring training starts, we'll be pretty quiet on the MLB front. Brian says, how about them Flames, first place? For now.
I think they just got overtook by the Ducks, though, because the Ducks won today. I'm pretty sure they're in first now with a minus 13 goal differential, so that's pretty interesting.
Those pesky Ducks, eh?
Yeah.
Actually, so I'm going to announce this now. Me and Ryan have a bet going on, and we actually just added Josh to this bet. So Ryan is a San Jose Sharks fan, I'm an Oilers fan, and Josh here is a Canucks fan. So we have a bet in place that whoever team finishes with the less points has to wear an Anaheim Mighty Ducks jersey for an episode. We all pretty much hate the Ducks because they're in our division.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a crazy bet that none of us want to wear this jersey, but we're going to start it now. Whoever team finishes with the least points, that person has to wear a Ducks jersey for an episode.
I think that's going to be me, unfortunately, but that's all right. I'll bite the bullet.
I'll take that because I want to see my team get back in the playoffs.
Yeah,
but Brian, yeah, them Flames, man, they're what a tough team. And Matthew Tkachuk really putting his name out there for a big contract extension, right?
Contract year.
Brian, you have any ideas what you think Tkachuk might be wanting for an extension there? Or?
I feel like they give him whatever he asks.
Pretty much, that's what you got to do, right? Like it's got to be in the 7 to 8 range, I would imagine.
What a player he is.
As we talked about last week too, you hate him, but if he was on your team, you'd love him. So
yeah, oh for sure.
But I'll go into quick NBA talk here. The Raptors, best team in the NBA, 8-game win streak, number one in the power rankings. Their record is 20-4. Is this going to be enough for Kawhi Leonard to re-sign in Toronto? What do you think, Josh?
I sure hope he does. He seems that that trade has worked out pretty well for Toronto, so definitely be good to see him re-sign. It kind of looked like he wasn't even going to play at the start of the year, so it's good to see that they're having success.
And Toronto is such a involved city that when their team makes the playoffs, like it's the fan reaction is just huge.
Yeah,
so
you got the whole support of the city.
I think that'll help immensely to have Kawhi re-sign. That he sees how great the fans are, how much we love our basketball. I mean, in Canada, the Toronto Raptors have 36 million fans, right? Because
Exactly.
we only have our one team, whereas each team in the States have a couple million or whatever, right?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
maybe he'll notice that and he'll re-sign here for a good long amount.
Looks like Brian said $6 million for Tkachuk. I agree with that. That's a good contract.
That's a steal of a deal, if you ask me. Honestly, $6 million, steal of a deal for Tkachuk. Maybe they're going to try and keep it under Monahan or Goudreau's cap.
Mm-hmm.
They might try and do it that way. Let's get into some NHL here then. We covered all the other sports, really. We can go through some NBA scores as well as NFL towards the end of the show here. Lots of trades going on in the NHL. We had the big one with Arizona and Chicago. Dylan Strome and Brendan Perlini for Nick Schmaltz. I love it. I love this trade. I feel that Phoenix definitely gave up on those two young guys really fast, but
Absolutely.
it looks like this trade has worked out for both teams. Schmaltz scores in his first game. Strome scores in his first game. And to reunite Dylan Strome and Alex DeBrincat, because they had such magic in junior and the Erie Otters, even after Connor McDavid left, those guys had so much magic. And, good on Stan Bowman for making a steal of a deal like that. I think it's a steal of a deal anyways. Those guys are nothing but the ceiling for what they can get up to, right? So, good on Stan Bowman there for that one.
Yeah, it kind of puts Vance back on his side after firing Quenneville. So,
and honestly, Strome and DeBrincat, they'll be an NHL. They'll be great for years to come now, because
that's definitely what Stan Bowman's after.
And as an Oilers fan, I was hoping we would try and get Dylan Strome eventually, because him and McDavid, they had some magic in junior there with the Erie Otters. We'll see what happens there. Other news, Lethbridge Hurricanes alumni Andrew Nielsen, he got traded from the Toronto Maple Leafs to the Calgary Flames for Morgan Klimchuk. So a little bit of ex-WHLers trade there. Andrew Nielsen is very excited about this trade. He wants to get in and play for the Flames as fast as possible. He loves the Battle of Alberta and definitely wants to get into the lineup as soon as possible. I think that's a fair trade, both teams, really.
Yeah, for sure.
I loved watching Klimchuk as a WHLer as well. Oilers put in a claim for Valentin Zykov from the Carolina Hurricanes. We got that one. No idea how LA didn't claim him, being at the bottom of the league.
Yeah, I think they'd be making any move possible.
But they did claim Sherbach from Montreal. That was Sherbach went to Montreal from the crazy Thomas Vanek drama that happened years and years ago, and I guess that nothing happened with him there. So we'll see how they do. But Sherbach got claimed by LA. Other news: Ron Hextall got fired as Flyers GM. Apparently, there was a bit of a philosophical disagreement. Sounded like ownership wanted Hextall fired.
Yeah.
And Hextall stood up for his coach. He said, no, I want to keep this guy, and he ended up getting axed. So in the end, they're going to bring in a new GM who's probably going to fire the coach anyways. So if you're a GM in the league, and the owner says something, you have to listen to it all the way, because we see what's going to happen here. Now both guys are going to lose their job. If you're a GM in the league, Josh, and they said, look, you have to get a D-man. If you don't, you're done. Are you going to do it or not?
Depends on what people are asking for, because it depends if it's a right-hander you need, because those come pretty expensive, right? So it all depends on what you're working with. The Canucks were going to do that. There might be some prospects that have to be given up that I don't think will be worth it. I think I'd rather try and draft one. It's kind of, the past couple drafts have been pretty strong, so you can usually find a pretty solid D in the top 10 if you can unfortunately make it into the bottom rankings.
And we saw that with Edmonton again in the draft there, getting Evan Bouchard, 10th overall, stud right-handed defenseman.
I can't believe he fell that far.
Oh, and how Chicago picked Boqvist over him was absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah. I would have been very happy with Bouchard, but somehow we landed getting Hughes, and I'm pretty excited about that.
Exactly, yeah. Maybe that's why you guys aren't doing so great right now, too. You want his brother.
Yeah, that would be okay. I wouldn't mind that, especially because the draft is in Vancouver in 2019, so it would be nice to get that first pick.
It's like the second coming of the Sedins almost, if that happens.
With Pedersen in the mix with those two, be a pretty deadly power play.
So if that happens, Bo Horvat taking a walk or Dahlin, or what do you think?
I think I'd like them to keep Horvat. He's kind of been the workhorse on the team right now. There's been a couple of injuries down the middle, so he's been taking about probably 90% of the face-offs, and he's the leader of the group. He's been there from the start. he's the leader of these young guys, and I'll expect him to take the C next year.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying too, Horvat with the captaincy. I can see it as well. The guy's definitely a workhorse. Let's keep talking about your Canucks. We got a bunch of RFAs coming up, some big names after all this Nylander talk, which we'll get into. Besser an RFA at the end of the year. He's probably going to re-sign. What do you think that number is going to look like?
I'm hoping for around 6, but if he has another year like he had last year, potting almost 30 goals in his rookie year, I could easily see him going for 7.5.
Now, like, we were seeing kind of a shift away from these bridge deals, I find, right? Usually after their rookie deal, they get a 2 or 3 year bridge deal. Now, as soon as their rookie deal is done, it's seeing they're signing for this full 7 or 8 years. So
I see that happening too. I think they want to lock him down for a long time.
And why not, right? Like, if they're going to do that great in the bridge deal, then you just got to pay him that much more money at the end. So
yeah, you got to pay him more in his prime. Whereas, you know, if you get the 7 year, you have a little bit more buying time, and you can maybe work out an extension before the contract's over.
Yeah, and this summer is going to be really exciting with all these RFAs. Patrick Laine, Besser, Tkachuk, like you got Matthews,
Marner as well.
Matthews, Marner, yeah. So on Leaf News, as everyone probably knows because it's shoved right in our faces anytime we go to Sportsnet or TSN or anything like that. Willie Nylander resigns in Toronto for a $6.9 million annual paycheck there. Finally, with half hour to spare before the deadline. I watched the interview with Kyle Dubas. They said, what was it that finally did it? He said, well, they called me with half an hour left saying, let's do it. So we did it. So for the $6.9 million, that's got to tie the Toronto Maple Leafs' hands. And there's lots of words going out. You know, are there going to be 2 offer sheets? Is Marner going to get an offer sheet and Matthews, forcing the Maple Leafs to pick between the 2 of them?
I think they'd be more likely to get rid of Nylander before getting rid of Marner or Matthews, have an offer sheet. And I think they're going to do whatever they can to sign those guys. Because Marner's on pace for almost a 90-point season, right? So
yeah,
I think they're going to do whatever they can to lock them.
Looks like our guest has arrived. How you doing today, Eric?
Good, you?
Not too bad at all.
It's cold.
Yeah, a little chilly today, especially from where you're from, right?
Yeah, definitely.
California, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit different, I bet. No palm trees up here.
All right, so we have Eric Pierce joining us in the studio here, guard for the Lethbridge Pronghorns men's basketball team. How's the season going? I know we're on a little bit of a skid right now, but how are you feeling about the season so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. It's been great. We've been in a 6-game slump right now, so it's been a little downhill, but it's a lot of adversity for us, so it should be good for us. Lots
of team building, definitely, with that kind of skid, right? How are you liking Lethbridge so far?
Oh, like I said, it's cold. It's cold.
Yeah, a little chilly, eh?
Yeah.
Lots of wind.
Yeah, but it's good, though. Just the gym and the books, that's about it.
Yeah.
Good man sticking to the scholar.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. What are your goals for coming up here and playing for the Pronghorns? Where do you see yourself in 5-10 years?
Oh, I'd like to go pro out here, actually, to go either Australia or Europe. So he has a pretty good connection with that. So probably try to do that after this.
Oh, okay, that'd be awesome.
My degree, of course, then go on.
And what are you? What's your degree for?
I think I'm switching to psychology. It's new media right now, but it's not really my thing. So that's
switching it up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes you got to switch it up.
Yeah.
Variety is the spice of life. If anyone has any questions for Eric, please feel free to comment on this post here. We'll be more than happy to have a discussion there. You are tuning in to World of Sports on Just TV with Rudi and Vance today. Eric, who do you most model your basketball game off of?
I'd go Paul George. I really like Paul George a lot.
Yeah, PG's pretty awesome. I'll never get that image out of my mind when he snapped his foot there in the Olympics.
Accident. Yeah, that was a tough one.
Who's your NBA team? Who do you cheer for?
I actually don't have one, but if I play 2K or something, it's probably OKC. So
Good old Russell
I just like
Westbrook
watching
and
ball.
PG
The Lakers
there.
are pretty good right now too.
Sure, yeah.
I really like the Lakers right now.
Yeah, they almost went 0-5 to start the season, and then
Boil it around.
LeBron did LeBron things, and
Troops.
now we see where they're at.
Yeah.
There was even chat if they were going 0-5 that Kobe might come out of retirement. That didn't happen. That would have been awesome to see, right? Could you imagine seeing that?
I bet he could still ball.
Oh man, just imagine Kobe and LeBron on the same team. Like wowzers. I'm a big Lonzo Ball fan as well. I'm gonna throw
these.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw that out there. The big baller brand, man.
From SoCal.
There you go.
Oh yeah, eh?
Yeah.
Awesome. Is there anyone in the NBA now, or like pro that you like grew up with or played with as a youth, or?
Not really, but there's a few guys from San Diego that's in the league right now, so I know them a little bit. And then Jared Dudley's from San Diego as well, too. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. No, that's sweet. Good to hear, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to try and make it out to some games here. I actually have never been to a Pronghorns basketball game.
Yeah, let me know. I'll put you on the list. Get right in.
There you go.
Absolutely, yeah, let's do it. Me and Josh, I'm sure we'll go check it out. I love watching local talent and stuff, so very excited to go check that out, actually. See who else we might be able to bring on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, what's, anything else you want to throw out there, or you guys had a tough game against the Dinos?
Yeah, they won it all.
Day.
They won it all last year, so it was pretty good. We were up the whole time until like third quarter, and then we ended up losing by like 5.
Yeah, I actually watching or looking at the scores from the last few games. They were all pretty close games.
Yeah.
No big blowouts or anything, so that's always good, right? You always look to the plus side of things. How you liking the Pronghorns, like as a team and as the university?
Mm-hmm. Well, school's definitely been harder coming from like a JC, so
Sure.
So I have to focus more on school out here. But the team, it's been great. I mean, there's some great guys. They're a lot older than me, so and they've got a lot of Mormons, so they're married.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's
sure.
different.
Yeah.
So, it's been cool. Yeah.
That's
You know, to lead the way and stuff like that. So it's been good.
Awesome. If anyone out there has any questions for our Lethbridge Pronghorns basketball player here, please feel free to comment.
Is this your first year with the Pronghorns?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Rookie?
Yeah. Well, not rookie. I played 2 years back home.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
cool.
Junior college, played 2 years there.
Oh, yeah.
And then came up here.
Cool.
Yeah.
I keep having one question come to mind, and then it just slips away. It's happened like 3 times already now. I don't know why that keeps happening. Pretty wild, but do you watch any other sports, or you keep in contact with anything else, or are you just main basketball guy?
Yeah, just basketball, yeah. Hockey's super big up here. Everybody's talking about hockey.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Comes with the cold, man.
Yeah.
Can't play basketball all year.
Yeah, that's
Not outside, at least.
Do you play like on your downtime, like go to the YMCA or anything like that, shoot around, or?
Nah, just in the gym. That's it.
Yeah.
I've been busy with a lot of games right now, so that's been about it.
You guys been on the road lots, or?
A little bit, yeah. We took a lot of planes too. That's a little different.
Sure, yeah.
Because
a little different.
A lot of the games are farther, so you got to take planes. So it's been crazy.
What's your? Do you have like a pre-game ritual that you go through?
No, I just try to get a good stretch in and try to get a good stretch in.
Is there like a certain meal you eat before every game, or?
No, we've been at Moxie's a lot though. That's about it.
You like the Moxies, eh?
Yeah.
I like their peach bellinis. I know that's not the most manliest drink out there, but man, that stuff is good.
Man.
A peach alcoholic Slurpee? Yes, please, right? Hello, Brent. Nice to see you online here. We have Eric Pierce here from the Lethbridge Pronghorns men's basketball, if anyone has any questions for him. A lot of news came out lately with the NHL about hazing. Does that still happen nowadays, hazing new players? In basketball at all? Like, have you seen that as yourself as a rookie or other kids when you were a rookie? Have you seen, is hazing still a thing?
Not that I believe. No, I haven't seen it honestly.
There we go. I was just curious because some big news came out in the NHL there of hazing and
in the juniors.
Yeah, and they're saying, well, that was so long ago that doesn't happen at all anymore. So I'm just seeing from sport to sport if that's still a thing or not. So you haven't seen it, so I guess maybe not much in basketball anymore.
Gotta work as a team, right?
Yeah.
No need for that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially to the extent that it was that Priscilla talked about there. Any goals for the season?
I'll just try to do better second half.
Yeah, try to break that slump.
Yeah, it's been a bad slump. Just do better second half and finish the season out pretty good note.
Awesome. Yeah, well, we're definitely cheering for you guys. Always got Lethbridge behind you. Average attendance is about 3,000 people, so that's got to be pretty exciting. What's the biggest crowd you think you've played for?
So far?
Yeah.
It's probably Alberta.
Yeah?
Yeah, Mercer, Alberta. That's a pretty good crowd. It was like both sides and it was everywhere, so pretty big crowd so far.
Awesome.
And a big Jumbotron too, so that's cool.
Yeah. That's up in Edmonton, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you thrive with that pressure?
Yeah, I did alright. I hurt my wrist dunking too hard, so I couldn't really
I'm
play.
trying to show off it.
But yeah, I still got a dunk too, so
there
that's
you
cool.
go.
Yeah.
How do you watch college hoops at all?
Yeah, I do.
That Zion Williamson, Duke, holy cow, that
that's
guy
crazy,
is a beast. Like, just otherworldly what he can pull off, man. It's pretty exciting. I'm just getting into college hoops myself. I kind of started when Andrew Wiggins and all that was with Atlanta and all that. Being a Canadian boy, it's pretty cool to see him go first overall.
Yeah, RJ Barrett.
Yeah, Barrett.
Nice.
We won't mention who was the Cavs' first pick there. That was
Bennett, right? Anthony Bennett.
Bennett, yeah, Anthony Bennett. We won't mention him very much because he's not in the league anymore. But another Canadian first overall.
Jamal Murray's doing pretty good.
Who's that?
Jamal Murray.
Jamal Murray's huge. Yeah, Denver Nuggets. He's in my pool actually because I had to, right? I love watching Tyler Ennis.
Yeah.
He's pretty exciting to watch. Canada actually just dropped a game to Venezuela that they were going for some basketball world championships. They still have a chance to make it in, but see what happens. Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else you want to throw out there, Eric? Anything you want to say, or any games coming up that you want to announce to everyone that we can get more people out here to support our boys?
Yeah, December 16th we got a home game versus American team, so we like to get that W.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Canada versus the U.S.
Yeah, something like it. They're from Montana, so it's pretty good.
Awesome.
It's the first time too, so you get the payback.
There you go.
Yeah.
Get revenge.
Cool. Well, I'll be back from my trip then. I'm gonna make sure I come to that game.
I'll put you on the list.
I absolutely will. I love watching local talent and our local sports, and the more I know about it, the more we can talk about it on this great show here. So, yeah, we're gonna. How much time we got left here, Jess?
Sorry. It's 5:30. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, well, you're more than welcome to stay or whatever you feel like. We're going to keep chatting just random sports stuff. If there's anything else you want to throw out there, or are you getting into hockey at all? Have you watched any live or on TV?
I went to the college one.
Oh, yeah.
Last week. It's cold in there too.
Yeah, it's a little cold in there, okay.
It's pretty intense. They go after it.
Yeah, it's a pretty high action sport.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, here's the deal. You get me into one of them basketball games, I'm going to take you to a Hurricanes game. Because it's pretty exciting having 5,000 people screaming at the top of their lungs for their local sports team. And Hurricanes just pulled off a giant trade as well with the Pats, so even more firepower up front. Lazician and do you remember the other guy? Henry. Henry from the Pats. We got 7 draft picks were involved in that trade. How crazy is that?
It's always the WHL, right? All the junior trades always have like 7 picks, a couple first rounders, a couple second.
And I was
overagers, right?
I'm gonna say I was sad about that trade because I absolutely love Jaden Joseph. I loved watching that kid, man. He was
played with an edge.
Yeah, and that first draft pick from Swift Current that we sent, that could be like a top 5 pick.
Yeah, for sure.
So it was a lot to fork over, but we got some great players. Hope just commented. She said the prices here for ticket prices for the men's Pronghorns basketball, if anyone would like to check it out. Adult 18 plus, $12 for a single game ticket. Seniors, that's 60 plus, is a $9 ticket. Youth 6 to 17 is $7. Kids under 5 are free, and U of L students are $3. So
pretty affordable.
Pretty affordable to go out and check out some local talent and local teams and support our boys, right?
Support local, right?
Yeah, let's get out there and make it nice and loud, and make them know that we're on their side, that we're always pulling for them. So hopefully this shout out here will get a bunch more people out to the games. Great prices, so Lethbridge, check out the local teams. You got the Pronghorns, the Kodiaks, all the junior hockey.
There's the Lethbridge Lightning as well.
Yeah, the Lightning as well. Always something going on in this town, sport-wise. Always. Whether playoff time comes around, the Hurricanes don't have a building to play in, but we have the World Curling Championships coming to town.
Yep.
We lost out on the Memorial Cup bid. Let's not talk about that because I'm rather upset about that still. But
they went to Kelowna, right?
You want to talk about? They went to Kelowna, and you know why? Is because the owner of the Kelowna Rockets is also the president of the board of directors for the WHL, who vote on where the Memorial Cup is.
So there's a little bit of bribery there.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, Kelowna last hosted in 2004. Man, like they've hosted in the last decade, and Lethbridge has never ever hosted a Memorial Cup. I'm just so sour about it because it would have been great for our city.
For sure.
It would have just been awesome to see, and then it goes to a place that has had 2 Memorial Cups already. So a little bitter about that. If anyone wants to chime in on that or anything at all, if anyone has questions for Eric or Josh or myself, feel free to comment here. Brian was still going on about them Calgary Flames playing Chicago tonight. We'll see what happens, Brian.
They've been struggling. Chicago has been.
And you know I'm all about my ABCs, right? Anyone but Calgary.
Heard that a few times.
The Battle of Alberta is a pretty crazy hockey game. We're going to have to get you to watch that one as well.
Yeah.
Very, very intense battles happening there. Other news, NHL All-Star vote is on now, so if you want to go to the NHL.com website, you can vote for what player you want to be the captain of your team, of your division. You can vote like 10 times a day, so get out there, get them votes in. John Scott is not on the ballot.
Darn, eh? Someone's got to replace him. We've got to get that fourth line grinder to the All-Star game again.
Who would it be? Who would you throw in there if you could throw a name in there?
That's a tough one. Maybe like Matt Martin. I think that'd be good.
There's a good one, yeah.
I think it'd be funny to watch. He's got a pretty good presence. So
Zach Cassian.
Yeah, that'd be good too. His big old ears and his bald head.
And when it was November, he had the great.
Yeah. Did he have the handlebar?
No, he had the regular, but he always just for men's it, right? So it's super popping out there. You'll always notice his mustache there. Yeah, November's over. Anyone get pledged or anything, feel free to comment, let us know. The NHL is always a crazy thing to watch for November comes around.
Yeah, there's some dirty dusters.
Cam Talbot had the crazy handlebars there with Edmonton. Some stats in the NHL. Mikko Rantanen still leading the way with 43 points. Patrick Laine, the 5-goal game there. That actually won a pasture in Winnipeg $1 million.
That's right.
Safeway score and win.
Seen that.
Yeah, so Calgary Flames, Edmonton Oilers. Come on, guys, let's get some 5-goal games here. Does Vancouver do it too?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've never seen it happen. I think Pedersen could do it, but
absolutely.
But I haven't seen it. It's good to see. I think they split it up. They don't get the $1 million all at once. I think they get around 20,000. I think it's
$50,000 a year.
$50,000 a year, or something like that. Can't complain about that though.
I know last year Connor had a 4-goal game. And Wayne was losing it up in the stands. The coach didn't play him the last few minutes, and Wayne's like, "Just get him on the ice, get him on the ice. Let's see someone win $1 million."
Safeway was telling him not to.
He probably, right? Tampa Bay Lightning first in the league with 39 points. Toronto Maple Leafs second with 38. So the Leafs are picking it up, and now they just got a new weapon to add to their arsenal.
Yeah, let's see if they can build on the chemistry that they had last year. Him and Matthews were a pretty deadly duo.
It's going to be great to see what happens with the RFAs coming up.
For sure.
I would love to see Phoenix offer sheet him with $14 million.
Just so
even
Davis has to suffer.
Right, and even though Phoenix is in our division and we don't really want to see Matthews in our division.
I've got to deal with McDavid, so...
And I can see Phoenix wanting to give up 4 first overall.
First overall boy.
Exactly, right?
It's the Batman prodigy.
That's funny. Yeah, Batman prodigy. Look at that, eh? Anyone feel like throwing anything out there you want us to chat about? We went through all the trades and waiver pickups for the NHL. We can look at some local or some live scores here. We keep everyone updated. Should we start with some... let's start with some NBA scores because we have Eric here and he can help us read these out here.
You think they can go all the way this year, the Raps?
Yeah, they're looking like it. They're looking pretty good.
Yeah, they're looking pretty good with Kawhi. He's been pretty big a surprise.
Definitely.
20-4. Like 20 wins, 4 losses. That's just wild. Number 1 in the league, power rankings, all of it. It's great to see for a Canadian team.
Yeah, we got one of them. Let's bring back the Grizzlies, right?
And I think that could happen, absolutely. Canada could totally have another NBA team and baseball team.
Well, don't they do the exhibition games? The Raptors, they go to Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, and a few other places. There's always a good turnout.
Yeah, absolutely. And we could totally if there was a basketball team in Alberta here, an NBA team, I'd definitely be going up to Calgary, Edmonton to watch some games. So, Adam Silver, let's get on it, man. Let's get some more teams out in Canada. Adam Silver, I know you're watching this.
Yeah.
Let's get a Vancouver team. Let's get an Alberta team. We can do it. We'll support it. Big game, Lakers and the Suns today. Suns 4-19, still struggling, and they have Devin Booker. What do you think's going on in Phoenix?
I don't know. They got to get together though. It's good. 4-19.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, number 1 pick too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and they have just
trying to get another one, maybe.
Right, like such a good team. Ariza and
they got a really good team.
And Devin Booker is just amazing. Only 6 points in today's game in 17 minutes. So maybe the coach has it out for him now. But yeah, so our Lakers pulled out this one, 120-96. 14-9 record now for the Lakers after going 0-4 to start the season. So LeBron just put them on their back and said, let's do this. He hit 22 points, 23 for Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo 7, Brandon Ingram 15, Beasley 14. What do you think of that crazy fist fight that happened there? Did you see that with
that's crazy.
The spitting?
And Ingram came in afterwards.
My wife just messaged me. I'm actually going to plug this for a minute. It's the Angel Tree campaign in Lethbridge right now, and there's locations all across Lethbridge here that have angel trees out. It's for gifts for the less fortunate, for kids who can't have a beautiful Christmas like maybe everyone else can. So if you go around, there's a few places: Park Meadows Elementary, the U of L, Hull Dental, Catwalk, Lethbridge Toyota. These places all have the angel tree set up. So you pick your angel, and it says how old the kid is, what kind of toy they might like. You go and get it, bring it back, and that'll just make Christmas so much better for the less fortunate. So thank you to my wife for reminding me to do that, because it's a great cause, and I totally forgot. So thank you, Hope, for throwing that out there, letting me know to plug that again.
It's always good to give during this time of year.
Absolutely. Another game in the NBA, we had the Pelicans and the Hornets. Both teams struggling to remain at 500, 12-12, 11-12 for the Hornets. And it's got to be the Pelicans' time coming up eventually, right? Between Anthony Davis and who else did they grab there? DeMarcus?
No, he left to the Golden State.
All right. Jahlil Okafor, Drew Holiday, Mirotic, like these big names. Is Anthony Davis, he's going to stick around, do you think, with the Pelicans?
I hope he goes to the Lakers, but
still another powerhouse.
Yeah, powerhouse in the West there with the Lakers, maybe, right?
Someone's got to beat Golden State, right?
Yeah.
Maybe LeVar will come out and play with them too.
So
just get the whole family.
Right?
We'll just call them the Los Angeles Balls. No, that sounds bad.
The Los Angeles Big Ballers.
There we go. Yeah. My boy DeMar DeRozan. San Antonio Spurs are up against the Trailblazers, 42-35, with 10 minutes left in the second quarter right now. I miss you, DeMar. Even though we got Kawhi and we're 20-4 right now, I still miss you. You're the best Raptor there is.
I love Vince Carter, but DeRozan's the best there is.
He's got the leader in every category pretty much. So Lowry close behind in a few of them, and he'll actually surpass some of them this season. Damian Lillard has 18 points. LaMarcus Aldridge 12 points in this game. Like I said, 10 minutes left, or 9.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Another game we have going on: the Dallas Mavericks and the Clippers. Both teams are at 38 points apiece with, again, 9 minutes left in the second quarter. DeAndre Jordan on the Mavericks there, after he stiffed him in free agency how many years ago? I guess he felt obligated to go back, or to actually go there. The Clippers, they got rid of Blake Griffin last year. He's with Detroit Pistons.
He's been doing pretty good, though.
Under Coach Casey as well, the old Toronto Raptors coach. He's been having a good season, and that was one of the Raptors' 4 losses, is when Dwayne Casey went back this season with Detroit.
Right. His first game back.
Yeah, he won that one in his first game back.
That's something to prove, right?
Another game going on, and this is a big one now with the giant trade that happened not too long ago. The 76ers against the Grizzlies. With the 76ers adding Butler there, you think they got a chance to finally get somewhere?
I hope so. I like the Sixers.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Embiid.
Yeah, Embiid's crazy.
Yeah.
JJ.
Trust the process.
Yeah.
He was my second or third overall pick in my NBA pool this year, was Embiid, so I'm pretty stoked about that one still.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Ben Simmons. Can't really go wrong. Fultz, like, so many big names on that team, man.
Fultz, man.
Yeah. He didn't play today, it looks like, though. You know what bugs me, and I'm glad you're here that we can I can ask you about this too. Why are the Raptors resting Kawhi every few games? Like, he's a young kid, he's younger, right? And he has I'm sure enough energy that they don't need to rest him every few games.
Yeah.
Any insight into that?
It's a really long season, and they're playing like 18 games, so
The travel adds up.
yeah, it's a lot on the bodies.
Especially being the only team in Canada too, right? There's a lot of travel with it.
And with that, does the Raptors have the most travel?
I'm not sure.
In the league?
I never looked it up. I could see them being up there though, having to go down to Texas and down to California and stuff like that. That's a pretty far flight.
That's something you guys can look up for next week's show there. See how many miles each NBA team has. It's just been bugging me. A lot of people pay lots of money to go and see these star players, and then they just end up getting rested every few games. It's like, Kawhi is so young, and he's such a good player. Like, why is he being rested? I'm sure he wants to play. And they got guys coming up too, Van Fleet and all these guys that are coming up. I don't know how to say his name. Anunoby, OG Anunoby. He's coming up and playing great. So maybe that's why Kawhi's getting rested, but it just bugs me. It bugs me.
Seems to be working.
Yeah.
It's definitely working. 20-4, first in the league.
Again, trust the process, right? Sometimes there must be some reason.
In Masai we trust.
Exactly.
Utah Jazz, Miami Heat are playing right now with 2 minutes to go in the third. The Jazz are up by a three-pointer, 74-71 is the score in that game. Hassan Whiteside, 21 points, 14 rebounds. Dwayne Wade back in Miami, he has 4 assists. Do you think this is Dwayne Wade's final season?
Yeah, he said it right. It's his last season.
Did he?
Yeah, I think he did.
I know he said it, was going to say it last year, and then
I think it's this year, yeah.
He went to Cleveland, and then they traded him back to Miami after LeBron left or
something.
Signed
a 1 year or something, right?
Yeah.
Those Heat third jerseys were pretty nice. The Miami Vice ones.
Those are cool jerseys. Yeah.
Those ones were really nice.
I love Hassan Whiteside too. That guy's an absolute beast.
Yeah.
Really exciting to watch that guy. NHL scores from today. Unfortunately, as Josh called out, the Anaheim Ducks did win over the Washington Capitals. We'll look at the standings in a bit here, but they won that one 6-5 over the defending Stanley Cup champions.
I think they scored 5 unanswered goals to take that victory from Washington as well.
And of course, you know, Edmonton Oilers throw away Pontus Aberg, and he gets picked up with Anaheim, and he gets 3 points in this game. He's their leading scorer, I'm pretty sure now.
I think he had a highlight reel goal too. I got a notification about it. I haven't looked at it though. But apparently it was a pretty nice goal or a play. I can't remember.
Yeah, and he's got 9 goals now on the year, Pontus Aberg, like after being a free pickup from the Oilers. So
it's like Paul Byron in Montreal when was it Calgary that let him go?
Yeah,
waivers?
I always liked that guy. He was so speedy.
Oh,
he still is so
fast.
fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. 5 straight goals for the Anaheim Ducks there to win this game. Ryan Kesser.
Yeah, I feel like everyone in the Pacific Division that isn't a Duck fan can feel that.
Another game, Rangers and Jets. This one just ended in the second period. Rangers are up on this one 3-0 in Madison Square Garden. Goals by Jesper Fast, Mark Stahl, and Chris Kreider. Kreider's 14th of the year. He's
having a pretty good year.
Yeah, right? Like, you wouldn't think he'd be a couple goals behind Line for the lead.
Mm-hmm. They're on a little bit of a hot streak right now, New York is. A lot of people, including myself, kind of had them in the lower half of the league, and they're on a little bit of a streak right now.
And the other Anderson, Elias Anderson, is doing pretty great there with New York.
Famously known for taking off the silver medal in the juniors.
Yeah, tossing his medal into the crowd, which he actually got back, of course.
Very good player, though.
Brian, you'll be happy to know it's a tie game between the Flames and the Blackhawks. So Flames are second in the Pacific now. We'll see what happens if they win this one. Goals by Sean Monahan and Johnny Taze. Hopefully Jonathan Taze picks it up because he's making $10.5 million. He's got to produce more.
Yeah, he kind of struggled last year too.
I think he realized that, and now he's picking it up this year.
Well, he's still pretty young. Didn't he just hit 30? Or?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's still young. We got the Sharks and the Canadians. Snides will be happy to know San Jose's leading this one 2-0. We're in the first intermission. Montreal not playing very great this year. Carey Price, he should have a monkey on his back. He's making $10 million as a goalie right now, the biggest paid goalie in the history of the NHL. They got to pick it up. They're, a lot of people say Canada's team.
Yeah.
So let's see if Carey Price can pick it up. Me and Ryan talked about last week how surprised we were at Max Domi.
Yeah, he's kind of thriving being in Montreal. He's leading the team in points and goals, right?
And I always thought that he would be that kind of player that wants to play in Canada and would do a lot better on a Canadian team. And that was a great trade as far as I'm concerned, Galchenyuk for Domi there. So
seems that the Canadians kind of won on that one. Galchenyuk's been kind of struggling with Arizona.
Yeah, and Bergevin's not very known for making a winning trade.
You can look at the Weber trade since he's back now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, kind of got rid of Subban for the wrong reasons, right?
Yeah.
He's a very good player, and he loved Montreal. So
Pacioretty's gone now. They traded him to Vegas for Tatar and some picks.
That seems to be a pretty good trade for them, though, because Suzuki seems like he's going to be a really good player, and Tatar has been playing pretty well.
Yeah. So, maybe Mark Bergevin saved his skin there.
Yeah, might be turning it around finally. Erik
Karlsson's finally kind of picking it up for San Jose.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan didn't think so, but I was saying last week how Karlsson's not playing so great. Do you think this will affect his unrestricted free agency coming up this year?
I agree with Ryan. I feel like whatever he wants, he's going to get.
You think it's going to be 10 plus, double digits still at least?
I think it'll be around 10. I could see 10-5. In my opinion, he's the best defenseman in the league.
Yeah, same.
I think whatever he wants, he's probably going to get. I imagine that San Jose hopes that they can keep him, but
how is that even possible between Burns and Vlasic at $7 million and $8 million,
it's true.
And Couture at $8 million and Kane at $7 million? I don't see it. I just hope not, because they're in our division, right? So we don't want that.
They've been struggling too. It seems like Jones isn't living up to his expectations in the net there.
Well, he only had the one good season with LA before he got traded there to be the number one, so might have been a little too early.
Well, they went to the Cup final with San Jose when they lost to Pittsburgh, and he was a big reason about that.
Yeah.
And then he kind of struggled this year. Didn't have a very good playoffs because they played Vegas, right? In the first round.
Who's that?
San Jose.
Yeah.
And they got swept, didn't they? Or did they win one? I can't remember.
I can't recall that far back.
Yeah, it was a little bit ago.
But yeah, Vegas definitely. Watching the Oilers game last night, Hockey Night in Canada with Vegas. Such a resilient team, always on the puck. They always have someone going for it, and such a resilient team. And they struggled a bit at the beginning of the year. Everyone's like, oh, maybe they're finally going back to being an expansion team. No, they just picked it right up after a few games, and
for sure.
They're a powerhouse. Such a good team. Marc-Andre Fleury is just
he's a beast.
He's a franchise player.
Absolutely, and he's getting up there in age too. He's in his 30s.
Yeah,
and he's just showing that maybe Pittsburgh should have kept him instead of Murray, because Murray's hasn't had a very good year this year. And
I've actually heard chatterings of trade talk around Murray too when he comes back, that they might be looking to move him.
Well, something's got to change. He's struggling, and he's been hit with the injury bug a lot too. It's not something you want to see from a fairly new goaltender in the league.
And talking about the injury bug, Austin Matthews is always injured too.
Yeah, it seems like he's had problems with his shoulders, both of them. It's good to see he's back though, but yeah, he's struggled.
You think that would have any effect on any potential?
I don't think so.
No?
Well, his first game back, didn't he have? He had a goal and a couple assists.
Yeah.
So.
But he's yet to still play a full season.
It's true.
He's yet to play an 82-game schedule.
Again, I feel like he's going to get what he deserves because he's a franchise player. It's great that they have Tavares, but I think it's Matthews' team.
Really?
I think so.
Huh. That's an interesting take. I think since Tavares came back, that's his thing now. That's Tavares' team. But agree to disagree, right? It's not our team, so we don't have to go fisticuffs right now.
I think them getting Tavares was a very smart thing to do, though, because he's been having lots of chemistry with Mitch Marner.
Yeah.
And they've been destroying it.
Yeah, next year's going to be crazy to see what happens. And they need to shore up their defense still, right?
Yeah,
so I was kind of thinking Nylander might be involved in some kind of trade to shore up their D.
I think someone like St. Louis might be after him. They could give up Parayko, maybe a little bit extra. I think that'd be something that the Leafs would be after, but
I'd like to see if maybe Edmonton could work some kind of deal with Darnell Nurse or something.
Sure.
He's a good young defenseman. If we can get a defenseman back, because obviously we can't just get rid of Nurse, we need a defenseman back. If we can get a Jake Gardner on a $4.55 million deal he's on, that'd be huge, and a forward obviously. A Puljujärvi, Nurse for Nylander and Gardner or something. I don't know.
Do you think? How are you feeling about Puljujärvi? He got a goal in his game back.
Yeah, he did, and he's looking great. And I feel they may have pulled him up to showcase him for a trade, especially after claiming Zykov. Now we have so many wingers, right? So I feel a trade is coming to shore up our defense. I still like JP, but I would trade him while his stock is still high, while they can still get something out of him. And you got to wonder why a Finnish GM would have passed on him at 3rd overall, right? There was something there that he didn't like. Jarmo Kekalainen in Columbus, right? There's something he didn't like about him, so you got to question that. And JP actually was not very productive in his junior years. He had a great World Juniors, right? And that's when his draft stock shot right up.
Yeah, absolutely. Seems that he's kind of been struggling with his skating a little bit.
He's a big, lanky boy. Yeah, he needs to adjust his game to the North American game and
for sure
keep
a
up.
lot less time on the ice there, right?
And they're even saying too that Yamamoto might be called up right away. It's like we have so many wingers. There's no way that could be done.
Good camp though.
I love Yamamoto. I'm a big fan.
A good draft pick for him.
He's short, smallest guy in the NHL, so I think that's a plus to have someone like that on your team. Throw him on a line with Lucic or something like.
It's turning into a small man's game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at Gaudreau, even Pettersson. He's only 180 pounds.
Yeah, that guy's tiny, right?
Actually, there's the Canucks skills competition. I think it was today, and he had the hardest slap shot with 99 miles per hour. Pettersson did, and he's just
really. Was everyone on your team?
Yep.
Really.
He's got a rocket, and it's accurate.
That's crazy.
As you saw with the Gretzky goal.
Yeah.
Right?
We only have a few minutes left. I want to ask you this about some Vancouver prospects. Yule Levy. What's going on with that there?
He's. Well, I would say he's the future. He's kind of struggled with a concussion this year. He missed. He just got back last week, I think, and I think he's going to be the next goalie, the next starter.
Next Carey Price or something.
They're kind of in a decision mode right now. If they want to keep Markstrom and Nielsen, or if they want to trade one, while Nielsen or Markstrom's stock is a little bit higher, as well as it can be, and they want to bring Demko up maybe, just to see what they have in him, because he might even be taking over the starter role next year.
I'd love to see that.
But he's a fantastic goalie, and I expect him to do good things.
Awesome. Well, that makes up our time for today. I'd like to thank Eric for coming on. Thank you very much, man.
Appreciate you guys, man.
I'm definitely going to take you up on the next home game here. I'll definitely be there.
Absolutely.
Maybe we'll bring Josh and Snides as well.
Absolutely. That would be down to go for sure.
Sweet. So thank you so much for coming on. I'm away next week. I have a charity hockey game, as I talked about last week, up in Edmonton. It's an autism awareness fundraiser for Chinook Autism Society here in Lethbridge. We are fundraising lots of money for that event. If anyone feels like donating to fundraise for me, slapping on some skates and playing ice hockey for the first time in my entire life, feel free to contact me or the page or anything. I can show you how to get in touch with that. But since I'm gone next weekend, Josh and Snides will actually be here and running the show for me. So I'll be watching from Edmonton and seeing how you guys do. But I'm excited to play this charity game and excited to see Ryan and Josh here take over the show for a day. And hopefully it remains PG-13 and no fisticuffs happen. But
I think we'll be able to handle it. I hope so.
Just if you guys play road hockey, take it out during the day instead of at night here, right?
Leave it on the court.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for viewing. Thanks for having some audience interaction today. It was the first time some audience members have commented and we were able to have a discussion. So thank you very much. And Lethbridge, stay golden.